Okay, it says I'm live. It says that's a thing. I am a little early. I have to admit, I am a little early. Yeah, that was weird. Did super pausing things. Super pausing things. Make this smaller. I can. Hooray! Here's to 100 subscribers, I guess. This thing's on, right? Yeah, this thing's on. Am I too quiet? I'm too quiet. Puh. We'll have to do. Look, I'm on here without a timer. That's interesting. Thank you, DK Marlowe. It's good to see you. It looks like G is here, but having some Wi-Fi issues, but hanging on. Also, yay! Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, G. I think I'm sitting at 120 subscribers right now. So, considering I got that in 2 weeks, not too shabby. And it'll probably jump again after this AuthorTube Retreats thing. Hey, Elizabeth. It is good to see you. I feel like I'm going to lose an earring. It's a bit early, but pretend I'm posting. Yeah. No problem. I will pretend my ass off. That's where I'm a Viking. Oh, sorry about that. It's telling me to take drugs. I'll take drugs later. That thing that sounds like plastic wrap being messed with is my cat eating. I don't know if you can hear it. Like, I suspect you can hear it. Hi, Kristen. It's good to see you. Aw, do you think so? It says you deserve every single one and a lot more. Well, I'm gonna try. I'd like to see if I can get like 500 by the end of the year, maybe, or something. Because I'd like to concentrate on my writing. That's like a thing that I'm going to be doing. However, I would like to have some like YouTube goals. Maybe get my 4,000 hours or whatever it is that you need to get monetized. Not that I know how to even monetize videos. I have no idea. That's homework I have to do, I guess. So I have a series that I'm going to be putting out for you guys because it seems that graphic design and marketing type stuff is hard to come by for authors. right? So I'm gonna help you guys out and make some videos that are basically like today I released what the heck is a media kit, and I'll do one on branding, and I'll do one on like taking author headshots. I'll probably do one on like how to write a bio or an about me or whatever, because I just did that. So yeah, that's what's coming down the pipe. I was working on my photography one until my phone basically said, "Hey, you have a thing in like 15 minutes," and I was like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, I was thinking of, you know, writing writing blurbs is not easy, and I have to say the blurbs that I have on my website, or on my media kit rather, well, also my website, technically speaking, they're not the best blurbs to ever blurb a blurb, but they summarize the book and ask a question so that people want to read it. So that's the goal, right? Hi, Jenny. Glad you could make it. I got distracted by the geniness. Distracted by the geniness. I feel like my computer could be closer to me. Come, come hither. Come hither. So, are there any questions to like start this Q&A off? I figured I started my day with you. I might as well end my day with you. Oh, I'm so honored. Super honored. I could probably just give a talk at some point. Maybe not now. Maybe it's because I'm drinking. I don't know. Giving a talk about like taking your own headshots with your iPhone. Elizabeth says, do one on pixel sizes for pictures, please. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so used to PageMaker for journalism and literary mag. I gotcha. Definitely gotcha. Yeah, I want to do like a DPI stuff and dimensions and all of that jazz. That is definitely in the this is what is needed for headshots part. I want to know what writing projects you're working on. What got you started writing? All right, let's start with writing projects. I have a lot. I have a lot. So let's start with Hope's Chest, which is a cyberpunk story. We've got read the Damned Hitman series, which is like 5 books about um, a mafioso that is in a vampire family who awakens as a mage. And that kind of like technically segues into Destiny's question, but there are more books. I have my Changeling books, both The Shadow and Nona, which little duology. It's based out of Changeling the Lost, and it's set in 420 AD uh, Londinium, and Decima is Autumn Court, so she is super spoopy. Let's see, what got you started? Those are the books. That's it. That's what uh, five, technically six, seven, eight, nine, 9 books, 9 books. 7 of which I intend on doing within the next 2 years. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Decima books, but I'll figure it out. What got started? Yeah, started with the writing. Actually, let's see. Technically speaking, when I was in 3rd grade, I went to one of those like talented and gifted schools, like kind of like a governor's school of sorts, like for kids who could like read before they went to school, type of before they entered kindergarten sort of situation, and which I could, and they made us like make books. We had to write little short stories and make books out of them and stuff. So that was a thing. And then when I hit, that was up until 3rd grade. And then up into middle school, I wrote short stories that took like kind of a dark turn. Um, and then I started writing World of Darkness stuff. I started writing these weird, like, scripts that were fan fiction-y. It was really bizarre stuff, really super bizarre stuff. Um, and then in 2005 or so, I really started like RPing, hardcore with World of Darkness with Enzo and my mafioso, and I started writing books about him, and that my first Nano was 2009, and it was technically the 3rd book of the series that I wrote first. And then yeah, I wrote all the books like out of order. Oh boy, now my husband's coming up the stairs. What other questions? Are there any other questions? Are those sufficient answers? Did that work out? I kind of started going on a little tangent a little bit, but my drink is almost done, and then I will be sad. I'm still here, I swear. Ba, 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 ba. How did you write the 3rd one first? I need to know. Okay, so because I technically role played my way, I'm basically cataloging what happened in game, right? So what's going on is I wrote the 3rd book first, where he has a uh, cocaine addiction, and he ODs, and he has to detox. So how do you detox an archmage? How do you do that? Right. So I wrote 50,000 words in a very during a very stressful time. Uh, it was like my escape, I guess, and went really well. And all the references that I make in the third book, I kind of make a note of, and then I can go back into um, the books 1 and 2 to like explain what those things are, showing what those things are, as opposed to telling what those things are. And then I wrote book 6, and I haven't written books 4 and 5 yet. So that's pretty much what's going down. That's how it's shaking out. I guess my husband ran away. That was good. What was good? My answers. That was good. I guess I could go into what the Damned Hitman series is. I'm doing a Star Wars. Am I? Little do you know, I had a Star Wars wedding. I am a rabid Star Wars fan. Absolutely. I was Sith. My husband was Jedi. We were technically doing a political wedding. Ah, my answers. Okay. That makes me feel better. Talking to myself in the dark. Trying to trigger the light and it's not happening. I have to like get up, circle my chair. That's okay. I guess I'm gonna get up here pretty soon and grab another drink. Providing I have any more. My mom might have been drinking them. Maybe. I'm doing a Star Wars. I also role-played Star Wars for many, many years. Somewhere I have like comics that I made that like was little story vignettes that I'd RP'd. Such the role play. I played my first RPG when I was 7 years old. It was D&D, and then it was Cyberpunk, and then it was more D&D, a little bit of BattleTech. Keep it go, and then it was just downhill from there. Tried role playing before, but I'm so bad at it. How? You're a writer, man. That's like the way I think of role playing is basically you're writing a chain story with other people. D&D is really fun. It's only as fun as the people that you're with. What keeps you writing when you don't feel like it? An outline. The outline is the hard part. Once I have the outline, everything just falls into place. So I am one of those people that don't believe in block, like artist block or writer's block or whatever. I work through it. I just, because it's like Like, art is my job. It is literally my day job. So I just have to, I don't get like sick days. That's not a thing that happens, right? So I can't like take a mental health day. That's not a thing. So I basically just barrel through it, use work as my distraction, and basically just plow right through. But my love for these characters really really carries me through when it comes to writing. Like, I just, time that I spend writing is time that I get to spend with these characters. So that kind of helps me like on days that I don't feel like much of doing anything. Let's see, role playing is great, and most of my writing is because of D&D. That's awesome. D&D translate to like generic fantasy like really easily, like very easily. Unless you're doing like Farron canon characters or something, like you can pretty much do whatever the heck you want. And DK says, I can't act out the things that I want. It takes practice. It absolutely takes practice. Part of it is pressure, because you're basically acting in front of people. But if you basically put yourself in the skin of the character that you're with, that you're playing, you just surf the wave. And you just bounce off of other people. That's really what the goal is bouncing off of other people. And oh, hi Amber. How you doing? Do you have conversations about your characters like they're real people with others? In 2009, that was a big problem. I like my Enzo was quickly becoming like borderline tulpa levels of attachment to this character. And I still talk about like the other characters in the book, like they're just people in my life that do stuff. Remember that time when Kinisato like took the head off of that guy? Yeah, it's a thing. I'm not as bad about it as I used to be. My daughter and I speak the language I created and things all the time. So I had to ask. I get it. Also, hi! Hi! Alright, I'm gonna grab another drink, but more question things. I'm here for it. Strongly disapprove. Something tells me my husband like got rid of my booze, which is, I guess, okay. Disappointing, but here we are. Let's see. Destiny says, I do, and I think it makes people crazy. Yeah. I'm going to make an afternoon coffee. That sounds awesome. It's raining heavily, and oh, I love it when it rains. Also, hi, Amber. Storming here. So I'm trying to use it to keep me happy while editing, and my editor gave me feedback for. Cool! Editing what my editor gave me feedback for. Is it stuff that was like hard to swallow? I think my book that I'm releasing in November is the one that it's like in revision number 4 or 5, something like that. And I think I'm about to stick a fork in it and call it done. I don't know if it's worth sending to yet another editor. It might be fine the way it is. I got lucky with one of my critique partners. She's like part editor. Boop, 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 boop. Not so far, but I have to up the tension by cutting almost an entire scene out. Oh! So it's like a pacing thing, maybe. I hate cutting scenes, though. Makes me sad. But sometimes it's necessary. Not that I do a lot of filler. Do you have a favorite snack you enjoy while writing? A favorite snack? I like a lot of snacks. I do. I like gummies like bears or worms or even dried fruit. Actually, I like those things a great deal too. Or licorice. That would be awesome. Jenny asks, are you self-publishing? I am. I am in fact self-publishing, and I go into this in my Camp Nano video, my wrap-up video, but I'll go into it a little bit here too. So what I'm doing is technically fan fiction, technically speaking. So what I'm doing is I went into White Wolf's legal stuff, and way at the bottom there's this little link called Dark Pack. And so I checked out Dark Pack, and what it is it's a loophole. And the loophole is that like you can stream your games, you can publish your books, you can make any kind of like player-made content basically, and you can monetize it as long as you are doing it through their store basically. So you set your prices, you make your money. You just have to make it exclusive to Storyteller's Vault. So that's how I'm publishing. And then I am going through like a printer or whatever for my hard copies. So, and the hard copies, so here's the thing, I can't sell them. I have to give them away, and then people can donate whatever it is that they want. Thop. Silly light. There. Sort of. Jeez. This light. Maybe, I don't know if that was a good thing. What was the best money you ever spent as a writer? I have to think about that, actually. It could be getting K.M. Weiland's How to Structure Your Novel. That might have been the best spent money. Scrivener is a close second. I'm digging Scrivener quite a deal. I've only been working with it for a month, but I think I really like it. Excuse me. Oh, this light is too much. All right, that was excessive. I'm sorry. I like mood lighting. Mood lighting. Yeah, yeah, I remember you talking about that. You found the loophole. Yeah. Yay, loophole. And I am getting the green light from the guys who basically run it was encouraging. So that's cool. Oh, creak, pop, snap. I think I found a printer that'll do my hardbacks with like fancy schmancy inks and stuff like that on the covers, like spot varnishes and whatnot. I'm just trying to figure out if like I gotta save all year for them or like how I would be able to afford it. But the whole deal with the hard copies is basically that I would be signing them. I'll have book plates made. They can put the book plate in whatever book they want. And that's the thing that I could probably do. I could probably design my book plates. I've just been like all over the place with my to-do list of all the things that I want to accomplish with this author thing. What do you get inspiration? What do you do to get inspiration when you're writing well? Let me try this again. What do you do to get inspiration when your well is empty? Is my well ever empty? Technically, my well is kind of empty right now. I have A and I have D, but I don't have B and C. And B and C are kicking my ass. Like, I have no idea what to do for them. I might bounce ideas off of my mom, maybe. She's also a writer, so there's a chance that she might be able to help me out. Cool. A lot of people mentioned Scrivener. I'm giving it a real go this past nano. Right on. Oh, hi Ella. I'm just here listening, so I don't know what to ask. Just also editing a story. That is cool. Interesting loophole. Today I learned. Yeah. So yeah, the catch is that I gotta put their logos on my stuff on the inside of the book. Or on the back, or wherever, somewhere on the article of things. Bonus points from me for Scrivener. I put it off for years. I was a big Ride or Die fan, like Yeah, I was a really big Ride or Die fan for a really long time, and then it was turning out to be more anxiety inducing than it was actually helping me write. So I might go back to For the Words. That might be a thing. At least during like monthly things. I might do the like $4 a month or whatever the heck it is that is stupid cheap. I'm really loving the outline feature. There's an outline feature. I do the note card thing. That's really helpful. The synopsis, just filling out the synopsis on freaking everything like that, that is like the best. Holy crap. If it wasn't for that, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be doomed. What does literary success look like to you? I want people. What do I want? That's a good question. I'm just tired of sitting on these stories, man. I want to share them with people. What does literary success look like? Having a built up platform, I think. Having like events like this, you know. I have to look up the outline feature. I haven't used it yet. I use the note cards for my outline. I like Focus Writer because I can put background pics that go with my scenes for inspiration and then move it to Word when I'm done. Interesting. Though technically I sort of do that with Scrivener already. Sort of. Jesus, it's pretty much the corkboard, you know. Oh, right. Yes, I use that one, yeah. Hmm. My poor jaw. Sitting and waiting for questions to come in. Though I guess I could look up author questions and ask myself questions. I guess that could be a thing. And then the rest of you can answer them with me. Because it's fun. Fun. Wow, my res is not great. How do you select the names of your characters? Also, the bread turned out amazing. Awesome. That I needed to know that. That was a thing that I needed to know. That was a thing that I needed to know. How do I select the names of my characters? It depends on the character, actually. Usually it has to do with their nationality. It has to do with when they were born. It has to do with who their parents were. It has to do with um, what kind of personality type I expect them to have, and that usually leads to what their name means oftentimes. Yeah, I'm really anal retentive when it comes to naming. Have you ever written or thought of writing outside of fan fiction? Absolutely. I used to do that a lot in high school. My stuff was like submitted to to contests and stuff like that without my knowledge, and then I would be gifted a yellow ribbon of some kind. Like the after reading the Call of the Wild, for one, but after reading Call of the Wild, we had to write short stories that were set in the snow. And I wrote about a guy who froze to death. And my teacher really loved it and sent it off to a contest of some kind, and I got honorable mention, which is interesting. What is your greatest struggle when you are writing? The outline. The outline. And also the third plot point. The third plot point kicks my butt every time. How are you thorough with naming? Wow, you're thorough with naming. Yes, I am thorough with naming. It's basically like naming a child. Like it is. It's a serious. I take it very seriously. I really do. Sometimes I'll even come up with like character sheets and stuff like that for my characters. Even though I'll never actually play them in a game, I'm technically playing by myself, I guess. So, Elizabeth says I'm using Urdu to name my characters this quarter. That's cool. That's super cool. G says, I'm so terrible at naming. I keep an ongoing list of names that I see or hear that's interesting. That's cool. But also, like, I give a shit what the meaning of the name is and where it comes from and when it was popular and all of that jazz. I was technically supposed to be a boy because my heartbeat was really super strong, so they just assumed I was a boy and I was going to be a Cadwallader. And when I came out a girl, guess it's going to be Fusako. Cadwallader, so we're big on family names in my family, so the first name is usually named after someone that the person knew, or the second name is usually what the family name of some kind, or a variation thereof. And yeah, I think we continued that tradition into my sister's kid. What kind of story structure do you like to use when you're outlining? I think I've only used the 3-act story, so I'm not story structure, so I'm not familiar with all the different ones. Okay, so here's the deal. For my nano projects, especially for my novels and whatnot, I start with a 30 beat sheet that I have put together. Now, this is a combination of Save the Cat, it's a combination of the Snowflake Method, it's a combination of the 3-act thing. It's technically a 4-act thing because the midpoint, the second act is freaking huge. It's humongous. It's a combination of Campbell's hero's journey. There's one more. K.M. Weiland and Stephen King, I think. I've been working on it for years. I think I've been working on it since 2011. So I've just been like adding elements to this beat sheet for years and years, and I've basically got it down to every day I can add 1,800 words uh, pertaining to that beat, and that will get me through Nano. By the end of the month, I'll have 50,000 words or more. This is, well, that's amazing. Yeah. One of these days, I kind of want to make a series about it. It'd be a long series, but I think it would be really helpful for people who struggle with story structure. I just hope I'm not like regurgitating like wacky stuff. I don't know. I don't want to seem like a hack, you know? I thought about like doing a story structure series. Yeah. You would love to see that series? Yeah? Maybe I should do a story structure series. And G also agrees that that is a series that they'd love. Okay. I will consider that and think about how I would actually make a series. Maybe it would be like a bunch of different. I'm actually working with a different beat sheet entirely for this short story. It's a Pulp Fiction beat sheet, so it's supposed to be a 5,000 word story, and I'm still in Act 1 and I'm at 4,000 words. So it's going to be a little longer. Let's see. Elizabeth says I do that too, but mine is 27 blocks, like Katie Tastic, and I add in 8 plot dot and save the 8 plot dot. I don't know what that is. I tell me more. But yeah, mine comes out to like 27, and the last ones are basically like go back and rewrite chapter 1, and then if you don't feel like throwing the laptop out the window, give the whole thing a read and see if the story flows right. And Ginny is heading out. Have a great weekend. Thanks for chatting live with us. Thanks for chatting live with us. I would like to see how others structure and write, so I would be in. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, alright. I might do a series on different story structures. And then, like, how I combine them all. That might be fun. I'll figure it out. Figure it out. All the series. All the playlists. I'm still refining my beat sheets at the moment. I have 2 that I need to combine somehow. One is a character arc and the other is just save the cat. Okay, so character arcs. So what I end up doing is I'll go ahead and I'll make an outline using this beat sheet, and then I'll get rid of all the questions, and then I'll start weaving in character arcs and making sure that they're all like timed properly within the pace of the story and all of that jazz. Elizabeth says 8 plot dot H.R. DaCosta and another screenwriter. Oh, William Martell maybe? To Google. 8 plot dot. How have I gone this dot plots? It's a graph. It's a graphical display using no. Yes? An 8-step visual guide to plotting unforgettable whatchamahoots. The plot dot. A simple 8-step visual guide to plotting unforgettable fiction. Yeah, okay. Add to list. Cool. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. All right, DK Marlowe has to dip. That's cool. That was super informative for me. Thanks, Sako. Thanks, DK. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I got like 10 minutes left, anywho. Hey, cut that out. Stop it. Oh my gosh. All right. I think for the last 10 minutes, I'm going to look up some questions. Questions to ask an author. 50 fabulous questions to ask an author. All right. I think this is pertaining to a very specific story. That's weird. I don't like it. 10 questions every author should be ready to answer. What inspired you to write this book? A game! A game inspired me to write this book. How do you reward yourself when you finish a project? Actually, it varies on the project, and that's something that I'm experimenting with for the first time this year. Is every week I have a different goal, and if I reach that goal, then I get to reward myself with something. It's been harder now that we're under quarantine and stuff, but it's proving pretty effective. This week I went and did social distancing with a friend where we sat 6 feet apart on her porch and we drank wine and ate nummy things. That's a good one, Destiny. Yeah. What advice do you wish you could go and tell your past self? It gets better. Get on meds now. That's what I would tell my younger self. Get on meds now. It doesn't get better. The whole mental health thing doesn't get better. You have to be heavily medicated. I don't know that I'm a better writer now that I'm medicating. I think I was technically a better prose writer when I was sick, as it were. But yeah, that was something that I really had to like cope with was like, you know, there are certain mental illnesses that you just don't grow out of. Some of that stuff you really gotta do something about. It Gets Better is a good one. I'd also stop myself from dating a specific guy. Yeah, I don't regret dating some jerks. If I think that it's basically like even the bad relationships kind of shaped me to be the person that I am today. So, woo. There are some events that I wish didn't happen. Hmm. There are some things that I wish didn't happen. I was 5 minutes early. I could probably leave 5 minutes early, right? Is that a thing that can happen? I was a teen, and he's part of why I advocate for kids and teens to be taught what emotional abuse is. Yeah, I feel you. But, anyways, I had to get away from my family to realize that what was happening was abuse. Is there a particular theme you gravitate to in your stories? No. I try and come up with a different theme for every book, which is usually how I differentiate the books. So I move the story forward. I try and up the stakes. It doesn't always work out that way. So, like, book one is loyalty. Book two is. What was book two? Come on, Sako. I guess technically speaking would be his upbringing, but that's like a weird like relationship, don't trust anybody sort of situation. Um, then there was the loyalty thing, there was the addiction thing, there was the marriage thing, there was the uh, infatuation thing, and then there's the you're a racist, misogynist dick theme. What's your favorite part about AuthorTube? Stuff like this. Absolutely. Interacting with the community, giving back to the community that helped me out for so many years. Oh, it's the low latency. I bet you that's what's doing it. Oh, it's on normal latency. Oh, that's why. That's why my quality sucks ass. Wow, I like the themes. And to follow up, Kristen the writer, what's your least favorite thing about AuthorTube? Honestly, the amount of YA and YA romance at that. Like, there's an archetype, I feel like, and I do not fit that archetype. And I don't know if that's a thing that, like, it's just, I would never compromise who I am for the sake of, like, being popular on YouTube. And I'm, like, super not into YA romance. I would never be able to write such things. I still like the people. I just wish that they talked about other, stuff other than YA. That's all. Okay, 3 minutes left. I'm gonna use this time to sign off. Thank you guys for coming and like hanging out with me and celebrating, helping me celebrate my, milestone and all of that pizzazz. Um, if you haven't liked this video yet, I strongly recommend that you do it now so that the algorithm likes me. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet and you want to see like the series about structure and the series about graphic design for and marketing for authors and stuff like that, then just yeah, feel free to subscribe or ring the bell if you want to know when the live streams are going to go up and all of that jazz. As a watcher, my favorite is the community, and my least favorite is those who act like their process is the only way. Yes. And there are definitely a couple of people that I could name that I won't name that are notorious for that. Yep, good night, Elizabeth. Good night, everyone. Oh, I guess I should be down here. Congratulations again, Sako. We'll be back for 200 subs. Yay! Good night, everybody.